Questions 1 through 10 on the 2015 Grade 8 AMC 8. How many square yards of carpet are required to cover a rectangular floor that is 12 feet long and 9 feet wide? There are 3 feet in a yard. Here's our shape, and we've got not drawn to scale, but 12 by 9, and these are of course given in feet. So to convert them to yards, we have to divide by 3. So it's 4 yards and 3 yards here. So the dimensions are 4 by 3, so therefore the area would be 4 times 3, which is 12, and this is of course square yards. So number 1, the answer is A. Point O is the center of a rectangular octagon, and X is the midpoint of side AB. What fraction of the area of the octagon is shaded? Well, if you have just one segment like that, since we have 8 sides, each angle is 1/8 of the total. Well, the total is 360 degrees, right? All the way around. So you divide by 8, and when you do, you get 45. So each of these angles is 45. Well, how many of these do we have in the shaded region? We've got that, and half, because X is the midpoint. So we've got 45 degrees here, 45 degrees here, and here we have half of 45 degrees, which is of course 22.5. So the area can be assessed just with the angles. It would be 3 times 45 plus 22.5. And of course over the total, which is 360. And when you simplify this into lowest terms, it's equivalent to 7 over 16. And therefore number 2, the answer is D. Jack and Jill are going swimming at a pool that is 1 mile from their house. They leave home simultaneously. Jill rides her bicycle to the pool at a constant speed of 10 miles per hour. Jack walks to the pool at a constant speed of 4 miles per hour. How many minutes before Jack does Jill arrive? We are going to use the formula speed is equal to distance over time, or time is equal to distance over speed. Any of those is fine. So for Jill, we have a situation where the distance is 1 mile and the speed is 10. So her time is 1 over 10 hours, which is 6 minutes basically. And then Jack, his distance is again the same, 1, but his speed is 4. So that's 1 over 4 hours, which is 15 minutes. So Jill takes only 6 minutes, Jack takes 15 minutes. So when they say how many minutes before Jack does Jill arrive, well, she arrives 15 minus 6, which is 9 minutes before Jack arrives. So number 3, the answer is D. The Centerville Middle School chess team consists of 2 boys and 3 girls. A photographer wants to take a picture of the team to appear in the local newspaper. She decides to have them sit in a row with the boy at each end and 3 girls in the middle. How many such arrangements are possible? Well, we have 5 possible seating arrangements, and the boys have to go on either end. So it could be either boy 1, boy 2, or boy 2, boy 1. So there's 2 possible arrangements for the boys. And then for the girls, you have, say, 1, 2, 3, right? 3 girls. But that can be rearranged in 6 ways. G1, G2, G3. And then, of course, you can put the G1 here, the G1 here, G2, G3, G2, G3. And you can do the same thing with G1, here, here, or here, but then you reverse the G2. So G3, G2, G3, G2, and G3, G2, like that. So as you can see, this is 6. So 6 times 2 is the total number of arrangements, and that is 12. So number 4, the answer is E. Billy's basketball team scored the following points over the course of the first 11 games of the season. If his team scores 40 in the 12th game, which of the following statistics will show an increase? All right. Well, currently, the range is from 42 to 73, which is 31. The median is the middle value, which is 58. The mean is the average. And if you add up all those numbers and divide by 11, you get about 57.4. The mode is the number that appears the most, that's 58. And the mid-range is halfway between 42 and 73, which is 57.5. Now we add 40 to this list, and then we figure out which one of these increases. Well, the range now definitely increases. It goes from 40 to 73, which is 33. So you're pretty much done with the question, but just if you want to be complete, the median stays the same, I believe. The mean would go lower. You don't really need to calculate it because you're adding a number that's lower than the mean. So overall, the average would go down. The mode, I believe, stays the same. And the mid-range is going to be, I think, like 56 because now you're going from 40 to 73. So, yeah, the only one that increases is the range. So number 5, the answer is A. ABC, AB and BC are 29, AC is 12. What is the area? So let's just draw an isosceles triangle. And probably not drawn to scale, but that's okay. And if you cut this in half, by drawing a perpendicular, that will easily allow us to figure this out. So 29, 29, and then the bottom is 42. And when you drop that perpendicular, it chops the bottom in half, so just this becomes 21, and this becomes 21. So now I can figure out height using Pythagoras. So h squared plus 21 squared is 29 squared. And when you solve for h, you get h is equal to 20. So now the area, you can easily figure it out. 1/2 base times height. The base is 42. The height is 20. And therefore this is 420. So number 6, the answer is B. Each of the 2 boxes contain 3 chips numbered 1, 2, 3. Each chip is drawn randomly from each box, and the numbers on the 2 chips are multiplied. What is the probability that the product is even? So since there's only 3 and 3, we can easily make up the combinations. You can get 1 and 1, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 1, 2 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 1, 3 and 2, and 3 and 3, like that. Now you calculate the products. 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 3, 6, 9. So first of all, the probability, there's 9 of those, so the denominator will be 9. Now the numerator is a specific condition, that is that the product is even. So let's circle the even products, these numbers here. And how many of those did I circle? 5. So there you go. Probability is 5 over 9 for this specific question, which is E for number 7. What is the smallest whole number larger than the perimeter of any triangle whose side length is 5 and the other side length is 19? We have some triangle. I don't know what it looks like, but let's just say it looks like that. And we have one side that's 5, another side that's 19, and another side I don't know, so I'll call it X. We have something known as the triangle inequality. And it states that if you have 2 sides of a triangle, they must be greater than the third side. So for example, if we have 5 plus 19, they must be greater than that third side. So that's pretty much all it says. If that is the case, that means X is less than 24. So now they're talking about the perimeter. The perimeter of this particular triangle is X plus 5 plus 19, which is X plus 24. Well, X is less than 24, so this must be less than 24 plus 24, which means it's less than 48. Perimeter is less than 48. That's the conclusion that we can make. So now read the question carefully. What is the smallest whole number larger than the perimeter? Well, the perimeter is less than 48, so the smallest number that's larger than the perimeter, that's a whole number, is 48. So a little bit of interpretation is involved there. So number 8, the answer is D. On her first day of work, Jana Bell sold 1 widget. On day 2, she sold 3 widgets. On day 3, she sold 5 widgets. On each succeeding day, she sold 2 more widgets than she had sold on the previous day. How many widgets in total had Jana Bell sold after 20 working days? So we have the day, and then we have the number of widgets that she sold. So it's basically 1, 2, 3, ... all the way till n, and then we have 20 at the end. And then it looks like 1, 3, 5, and then it basically looks like 2n minus 1, right? Because you're going up pretty much by 2 every time. So for 20, it would be 39. So what they're saying is the total, they want you to add up all of these guys for 1 to 20. So the total sum is basically going to be 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 all the way up until 37 plus 39, like that. All right, so that's pretty much it. And I pair them up, so 1 plus 39, 3 plus 37, and so on, right? That just makes it easier. And each of these is 40, so 40 plus 40. Now you have to figure out how many of these are there. Well, there was numbers from 1 to 39, so that's basically 20 numbers. And I paired them up, so each pair has 2. So 20 numbers, 10 pairs. And each pair is worth 40. So it's 10 times 40, which is 400. So number 9, the answer is D. How many integers between 1,000 and 9999 have 4 distinct digits? 4 distinct digits. So the first digit can be any digit from 1 to 9. You can't put a 0 there because the number has to be at least 1,000, or actually has to be at least 1,001. So we have 9 choices. For the next number, it can be anything from 0 to 9, because you can put a 0 in there, but it can't be the number we put here because they want distinct digits. So since there's 10 possibilities, one of those possibilities had already been used, so I can only put 9. I have 9 numbers to choose from. For the next number, again, I can put any number from 0 to 9, but I've already used 2 of the numbers. One number was used here, one number was used here. So of the 10 possible choices, 2 of them are gone, so I can have only 8 choices left. And the last one, again, I've got 10 choices, but I've used 1, 2, and 3. So I've only got 7 choices remaining. And then that has to be multiplied. And when you do, you get 4, 5, 3, 6. And therefore, number 10, the answer is B.